This is the first ever bass that I've had on my channel, and it's made by LT Custom Guitars here in the UK. It's called the Pioneer bass, and it's part of their Pioneer series of guitars. And this is the Pioneer P1 guitar that the bass is based on. I'll be releasing a video in the next few days all about this one. You might have already seen it in a lot of videos that I've released recently. Anyway, back to the bass. I can play bass, but it's more of a guitarist playing bass kind of thing, and I really wanted to show off what this is capable of. But luckily for me, I have a friend who is an incredible bass player as well as an amazing guitarist, and he very kindly agreed to come onto my channel to help show you what this can really do. His name is Andy Duke, and I'll put links to the bands that he's currently working with in the description. And this is what happened when he came over to my studio. Thank you, Andy.
Jake, I need to address the elephant in the room. There's not a literal elephant in the room, but there's something amazing that is happening here.
There's a monkey in the room.
There's a monkey in the room. There's a monkey on my back. Can you put it on? There's a monkey on my back. There's an elephant in the room, to the point where I'm wondering whether or not do you want to have a chat with a priest or your parents or even a chef, because something new has happened. There's been a first-time experience on your channel. And I'm a part of it, and I feel that we need to chat about it.
What I am glad for is that you're here. Oh. And it's with you.
Oh, thank you.
And not only you, it's with an LT Custom.
Indeed, this British luthier goodness. So
this is the LT Custom Guitars Pioneer bass, and it's a short scale bass.
30-inch scale.
And you're a massive fan of short scale basses, I hear.
I really, really like them. I like them because they deliver something really unique and really, really useful. The one thing that really gets on my nerves are when people review short-scale basses and they come out with if you're a guitar player, this is a wonderful gateway to the world of bass. And I'm not denying that, but short scales it's more than just a scale length that will be familiar to guitar players. It's a different kind of feel, it's a different kind of sound. In Nashville, for instance, there are loads and loads of producers who like Dan Electro short-scale basses because of the way the transients are captured and the way that the instruments sit in the mix, particularly with the lipstick pickups, means that there's no competition between this and the kick drum, and which is a big deal, particularly in the world of kind of country and whatnot. And for me, and this is a different bass from the normal short scale in terms of how it sounds. There's, when I think of short scale, and when a lot of people think of short scale, it'll be kind of Hofner's or Gibson EBOs, kind of a real vintage sort of feel and aesthetic. Usually with flat wounds and just that reassuring thud, that mellow boom. Think Paul McCartney, think Jack Bruce, and. It's because of the short scale, the length of the strings, because of the scale of the neck, the tension's going to be different, and the way the strings vibrate and sustain is different, and I think it imparts a warmer sound.
I'm not very experienced with basses, and even less so with short scale basses. So I was thinking that the biggest differences would be in terms of feel. The strings would be more kind of slinky and easy to play, but your description of the differences, you seem to focus more on the tonal sort of sound aspects of it. So that's the bigger difference for you.
Absolutely. I mean, feel is going to be different without a doubt. And but for me, and the reason why I have short scale basses in my collection is if you want that really kind of thuddy, kind of warm kind of sound that recalls something that was recorded in 1964, it's really, really good to have. However, this is a very different kind of short scale bass. Feels like a short scale, 100%, absolutely, very easy to play, beautiful neck, tone-wise, it sounds like a full scale. This has oomph to it. It's as though there's a significantly high-powered engine beneath the bonnet, people. Some of that's due to the construction. Some of that is certainly due to this, which is a sun bear, not to be confused with the cocaine bear. This Sun Bear 51 P-bass style pickup, which has a lot of grunt. This is an authoritative pickup. From what I gather, the intent of this bass is for it to be thrown around, for you to put oodles of overdrive on it, to deliver some nastiness in the low end department. You know, so much so that there's just one volume knob here, one pot. There's no need for any kind of tone adjustment. In fact, LTD Guitars have said they're willing to put one in here. They can put it in a tone pot, but that's if you're a fun sponge. Otherwise, it is just one pickup, 4 strings, one volume pot, and one annoying posh git playing it, at least in here.
And you say that, but we'll be intercutting playing demos in with this, as you know, because you're watching this video. You got a massive variety of tones out of just a single pickup, and you weren't even working the volume pot.
No. I kept it up all the way. As our American cousins say, it was dimed. Do you ever say it's dimed?
I've never said it in my life.
Are you going to start saying it? Yeah, I kind of like it.
It makes me feel more American.
Yeah, indeed. And maybe like, you know, you're doing a sound check and you're like, right, do you need anything? Yeah, can you dime my guitar, please? Okay, that doesn't work. The one thing is, Leo Fender got so many things right to begin with, and this Sun Bear pickup is called, you know, a 1951 P-bass pickup because that is the year that Leo Fender created the first electric bass, you know, as we know it. This is, you know, it might be, you know, where it all started, but my word, this is, you know, it's an incredible pickup. It's single coil, so you're going to get some hum, but where we're going, hum does not matter. When you put oodles of overdrive and whatnot, and there's a lot of whatnot that you'll be hearing later, it doesn't matter. What you get from this is just oodles of definition, and also it responds really well. So when you play back, it responds to that. You know, there isn't a great deal of compression, but when you dig in, it goes into the category that I like to call hell-bent for leather.
What was the first thing that you noticed when you picked this up?
It's light.
It is.
It's light. It's like, genuinely.
Possibly filled with helium.
Indeed. It makes me wonder, like, what is it? I initially thought it could be chambered. This is so light. And you have the 6-string version.
It. So this is based on LTD Custom Guitars Pioneer guitar. So this is a slightly modified Pioneer guitar, but it's basically a Pioneer guitar P1, and it's based on the same shape, same headstock shape, slightly bigger headstock shape, size, but same shape. So you held this, and immediately there was a theme running with LT Custom Guitars.
It's well light. Oh my word! It's really light.
So this is £6
right,
and it's rough.
Must be
probably yeah. And for a bass to weigh that amount,
yeah, it's incredible. And to deliver sonically what it does. From a balance point of view, off camera, you know, we had a strap on it, and you know, there's no neck dive. Sometimes with short scales, sometimes with you know, full scale basses, you know, you can get, you know, particularly with Gibson EBOs, you get that business happening. The machine heads have been used, which are Goto, are light. They function really, really well, and the size of the headstock is such that it works just really, really well. Ergonomically, this is a really, really comfortable bass. You know, although it's primarily a slab body concern, there's a little bit of a contour. There's a little bit of a comfort contour, which makes it a delight to play. The neck feels absolutely amazing. Aesthetically, when I first saw this, and I am a bass nerd, a bass geek, if you will.
We say connoisseur.
I am a bass connoisseur. This reminds me of a made in Japan Fender bass called the JP90. The scratch plate, pick guard, as some of you call it, is very, very similar. The JP90 is a wonderful bass, and you can get them very cheaply. They're a bit of a sleeper. I like the way this looks. It's kind of like there's a little bit of the Fender Mark Hoppus with this kind of layout. It is its own thing, but I cannot stress, this is not for vintage purists. This is not, in terms of its intent, for somebody that wants to get that Paul McCartney Hofner sound. With, you know, finger placement and stuff, you know, you can get there, but it is an all-out rock machine. And it sounds huge. I was really expecting it to have that, the short scaleness of it all, you know, which is, you know, it imparts a different kind of sound and a really, really great and really, really useful sound. This has oodles of oomph.
Well, like one of the first things that you said when you plugged it in was like, it sounds like a full-size bass.
It really, really does. It really, really, really does. If I was to do a blindfold test, if you will, the Pepsi challenge, and was just listening to it alongside, you know, say a Fender 51 reissue, I'd have problems telling them apart. I think some of it is because of the construction, you know, the way that the body resonates, and just the whole kind of sonic signature of it. This is unapologetically huge and grunty as a concern. I think it would appeal to fans of royal blood, and people have used short scale instruments as a way to deliver some of that kind of six string oomph, for want of a much better word. That word, replacement word, is right up here. It would be really, really great for that. But to be fair, genuinely, just for a bass player who wants to have something that they can lob in a gig bag and that will fit, you know, on a flight.
And it does actually fit into a guitar gig bag.
Which is really, really important. And for fly gigs, and particularly with the cost of baggage allowances and stuff, being able to have something that will fit in the overhead locker. By the way, the contents may shift during the flight, so be careful when you reopen that bad boy. I would have no hesitation in using this. There's no kind of, you know, sonic trade-off from a size point of view. LT guitars have done a wonderful job. This is a really big, very, very unique sounding instrument. I thoroughly love this pickup. I would happily have this bass in my arsenal. I would use it live with no hesitation at all. It sounds great.
We've touched on the tuners already, so they're go-to tuners.
Yes.
So let's have a quick chat about the spec. So it's a 30-inch short-scale bass, where a normal bass would be
34. 34. Rickenbackers are 33 and a bit. But yeah, so this is 30-inch. So it's very much, you know, the benchmark will be, you know, Gibson EBOs, Hofners, the Guild Bison bass. This is, you know, it is a short-scale instrument, really easy to play, beautifully set up. The fretwork is utter perfection. It feels like a quality handmade instrument. This Pioneer bass feels like some love has gone into it. I loved playing it.
And the body?
And the body is...
Up for debate.
Yes, is up for debate in terms of how to pronounce it.
In the comments below.
We think it's pronounced...
Obeke?
Obeke. Obeke. Is it Obeke?
Or is it Bechet?
Is it Bechet? Yeah. We have no idea, you know, you say or Bechet, I say or Bechet. Let's call the whole thing off. Ah!
Three-piece maple neck,
Yes.
a choice of rosewood or maple fretboards.
This is maple.
A flame maple cap on the headstock.
I have no idea if like the lights are catching it, but it's beautiful. Look at
I
that.
reckon you'd be better off on that one.
Oh yeah. I've no idea like if the flame is not coming across here, but it's really beautiful. It's really nice.
So the Sunbear hot wound 51p style single coil.
I love this
Yeah.
pickup, genuinely. I mean, the bottom line is, this is 1951 technology that's been given, you know, a modern twist by Sunbear, and it's incredible. Oh, I've just hit that mic. And it sounds really, really, really amazing. Yeah.
So the finish is a thin nitro finish, and this one is in shell pink, but you've got a choice of all the different kind of pastel colours, surf green, Daphne blue, all those kind of colours. Which colour would you go for?
I really like this shell pink a lot.
It's very subtle, isn't it?
It's very subtle. When you sent me the photo, we're friends outside of this world. He actually likes me. He likes me. When you sent me the photo of this originally, I thought it was a white base. Yeah. And so the shell pinkness of it is very, very subtle. I love surf green as well. So it would be a toss-up between the two. I love maple fingerboards. Yeah.
It's got a really nice flame running through it as well.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. It just feels like a quality instrument. And LTD guitars are based where?
LTD are based in Japan, but LT Custom Guitars...
Oh, LTD Custom Guitars.
LT Custom Guitars are based in sort of like north of Brighton in Burgess Hill.
Right. It's kind of one of those stations that you pass through when you head down to Brighton.
Very different to Japan, though.
Yeah, indeed.
You know Japan pretty well.
Yes, there are rumours that I've spent some time there, but you know, my ESP tells me that these are wonderful guitars that are lovingly built in deepest West Sussex.
Yes.
Or is it East
it's
Sussex?
Like right in the border.
Right. In one of the Sussexes, these instruments are being built with loving care. By the way, if you're from one of those Sussexes, I love that part of the world. Take no offence. I go down there a lot. It's a wonderful part of the world. I like it. This is just the bridge is fab, balance is fab. Sonically, this is very, very special. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. There's a great deal of responsibility of doing the first bass review alongside Jake. You know, I think about the likes of Low End Lobster, who gives us salutations to crustaceans and does all of that. Love Lobster's work. And the many, many other people out there who have wonderful channels. You know who you are. I can do impressions of some of you. In fact, I can do impressions of a lot of you, and it could be potentially offensive, which is why I'm not going to do that, because that's not my style. But I hope we did LTD Custom Guitars.
LT Custom.
LT Custom Guitars. You're going to edit the fuck out of this.
No way. Not a chance. I'm so glad that you were able to do this for me, because I would not be able to demonstrate. Stop hitting the mic.
Sorry.
I would not be able to demonstrate it in anywhere near the kind of capacity that you've been able to. So thank you so much for that.
You're most welcome. So when's your father, the chef, and the priest going to come along? Why is there a chef coming?
We made it this far. A year and a half of uploading videos and finally cancelled, so thank you for that, Andy.
Indeed, I aim to please. It's an honour to be here. I love your channel. In addition to being a dear friend, I watch your channel, and I send him screenshots of things that I find amusing, and we bond over what he produces, and this is a wonderful channel. I never thought I'd make it in here.
You're the first person I've had in this room on this channel.
First times. It's been really, really emotional. It'll be a lot better when the priest, the chef, and the father arrive.
Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in another video at some point in the future. Goodbye from me.
And goodbye from him.